Welcome back to Because Mom Said So. I am Jill, mother of my 3 beautiful girls, and I have my lovely ladies here with me today.
I'm Kelly, mama 3. Glad to be here.
Yay. I'm Melissa, mom of 2, great husband, wonderful little doggy. Thanks for coming back.
And this is Holly. I am a mom of 3, boy, girl, boy, and I'm excited to be here again.
Melissa, what are we talking about this week?
Well, I like this topic, and I think all you guys are going to like it out there. Teen dating.
Melissa, you are not a teenager anymore. You cannot date.
I'm 22.
I don't like this topic because I don't want my kids to date. I don't want them to get big.
I don't want them to get hurt.
Yeah.
I'm okay with them dating,
Yeah.
but I wish that it wasn't so serious all the time. I don't know.
I think we're going to have a lot to
It's
talk about today with teen
difficult.
dating. I think
Mm.
just based on our experiences and then also advice we have for other moms or for each other. And
I have to, let
I
me
think
start out by
let's
saying
start.
something really funny. So it's really cute how our girls have always stayed very close, which is great. Sometimes I walk in the room with Kenzie and she's FaceTiming Nia. And I always know when they're talking about boys because Nia goes, "Is that your mom?"
They stop talking when you walk in the room.
She literally, I said, "Nia." And she says, "Oh, hi, Melissa." And Mackenzie goes, "Bye, Mom. Love you." But they're talking about boys. But it happens quite a bit.
there's
That's
a lot of tea when it comes to
good.
boys.
That kids
And dating.
have each other. I think they need that.
Oh, yeah, because
To
they're
know
not going to
what's
talk to us
normal,
about...
what's not. They need a support group that isn't their mom.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we're there for them, but they need it.
And you know why I think it's so good that our girls stay connected about that? Because they have an experience that so many other girlfriends don't have. So, I mean, they do rely on their other girlfriends and their friends for support, but because they share this bond of being on the show together,
Mm-hmm.
they have an experience with the way that they date that other people probably can't relate to as much.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is something that's really critical, that they can ask each other questions and FaceTime and get their insight because they know where they're coming from, where some other people may not quite understand because they just don't have that life experience.
And you know what's funny? I don't have book smart. I'm street smart. Okay. But I have intuition. I have to tell you, I can pick them. A boy can
when
walk
you meet
in the
them,
door.
as soon as you see them, you know he's not going to be any good.
And it's funny. All of Mackenzie's friends.
I say that a lot.
oh no. And I've met boys and I'm like, they're not going to be good, but you can't tell
They're
your
gonna break
kid
your
that.
heart.
I'm like, you can't, but I can feel it. I have the intuition. And it's funny. Kenzie's friend said, "We're going to bring boys over to see how you like them." And I'm like, no. You can tell a boy. I'm telling you, the mom intuition is a great thing.
Yeah. But however, you have to be careful because the second you say, "Nah, I don't like them," they love them.
They want more.
All of a
yeah.
sudden, that's
what happens
the one.
with me. I try to keep my mouth shut because anytime I say I don't like them, they're like head over heels in love.
Oh,
And
no,
if I
but
do like them, then they're like, "Oh, he's boring now."
Well, I told
My mom
Kenzie.
likes him. I don't want to be with him. He's boring.
Oh, I like that. We should say boring.
Yeah,
That's a
because then
good
they'll
one.
think he's exciting.
Well,
The
Kenzie
opposite.
dated this boy that I did not like from the get-go. And every time she says, "Can he do this? Can we do this?" I'm like, no, you have to do this. We're busy. And I kept pushing him away. And then she kept getting closer to him and closer to him. And as soon as I started liking him, she did it.
See?
I'm telling you, it's
was like-
definitely
Because
happens.
mom said so.
Because mom said so. Don't do it. Whatever mom says, don't do.
Is there something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? I mean, I think right now has been really a hard time with quarantine, and I think this is such an awesome thing. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist, and you can start communicating in under 48 hours.
You know what? I think that's such an important resource for everyone to have because I think sometimes people think of therapy and think that it's not for me, but I think everyone can benefit from therapy. And having a resource online like this is, I think, invaluable. And the fact that it's accessible, it's secure, it's something that's very private. They'll match you with someone who is really good for your needs. And the fact that it's not a crisis helpline, it's not that. It's not self-help. You're actually getting professional counseling, and it's done all securely online.
I think it's really awesome because sometimes I think people are embarrassed to go to therapy, and this is from your own home. And I think it's so awesome.
And the service is available worldwide. That I didn't know. And I saw there was a testimonial from someone from Australia. And it's incredible. And it really makes the world a lot smaller. But you don't have to feel like, oh, if I'm not in the United States, I can't use this resource. It is available to everyone.
It's more affordable than the traditional online counseling, and financial aid is available.
Another cool thing that I thought about this resource is that you can log on anytime. So that makes it accessible not only because of the cost, but also of just having the ease and comfort of being able to do it from your own home at any time of day.
About 2 years ago, we had, a situation, and I needed my college daughter at the time to talk to someone. Do you know how hard it is to find a therapist?
Yes.
I called probably 8 to 10, and no one takes new patients. So this
I
is
know.
amazing.
It really is. Therapists are really hard to get, especially nowadays because of the COVID. Everybody needs therapy.
Yes.
Isn't it funny how technology has changed and made so many things that you would think, how would you even go about finding something like that? And I read this as testimonial. Says therapy is scary when you haven't had any experience coming into this space. And he references that, he found a therapist who was a pro and made him feel comfortable, he could engage in, and the responses were timely and the communication skills were really on target. So if you're not even familiar with using therapy, it just makes it that much easier.
Yeah, I think that's really great. Visit betterhelp.com. That's BetterHelp, HELP, and join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional.
In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. And I think at this point, everyone could use some help right about now. So there's a special offer for Because Mom Said So listeners. You get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/because.
But I mean, our kids have all been hurt. Their hearts have been hurt. And when they have a broken heart, we have a broken heart.
Oh, definitely.
Oh my gosh.
I think sometimes worse.
No, I think so
I think
too.
I feel sometimes worse than they do.
I agree. But Holly, we've had it together.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Just like the girls rely on each other, I have relied on my friends. And I know when Nia was going through like a really tough breakup, I relied a lot on Melissa because I'd never gone through anything like that before. And it was really...
You never went through a breakup?
Well, not watching my
not
kid.
with your teenage daughter, maybe.
Not my
Okay.
kid, and EJ was
lucky you, Holly.
And we cried together. I mean,
I just have it like that. I never went through a
Holly's
breakup.
Holly's the heartbreaker. She doesn't get her heart broken. She breaks theirs. Okay, go ahead. This is about Nia, not you. Hol.
I forgot. So it was really hard for me because for EJ, it was so different for him being a boy. And I hate to have that gender difference, but it's
definitely different.
It's different.
Yeah,
and
you guys don't have boys. Like my son's totally different than
Oh my
the girls,
gosh!
yeah.
Like when he broke up with his girlfriend, I was very sad.
but they
because-
were friends. They're still friends.
They're still friends. They're still friends. And every now and then, I'm like, oh, I miss her. When
We
ever
miss her
come back-
too. We all say that.
We all do because she was so special. But they ended on great terms. Whereas with Nia, with her first breakup, it was devastating to me. It was really, really hard. And
And she even FaceTimed me
yeah.
crying. And she's like, and you cried. I cried. I mean, we all did cry together because it's hurt. It hurt.
it hurts.
What's the breakup about?
It's, you know what? They're young.
How does that?
They're
Okay,
young.
so it's just young.
They're young. They're, immature. And, adolescence it's really, really hard. And not that you ever expect your kid's going to meet someone and going to get married or anything like that, but just seeing how your child can really get hurt. And that's the thing. You can't protect them.
Yeah.
And
That's
social
it.
media plays such a big part. I mean, social media is,
I hate social
you
media
know,
and dating.
it is.
I think
hard.
kids nowadays
It's weird.
say and do so many things that we didn't do because if I had a boyfriend, I had to say things in person
Right.
and I would be shy and not say things. Where now I think with social media or in texting and whatever, you would text a boy anything.
Well, they hide behind
and
their phones.
and not you don't have to do it face to face. So it's so
Right.
much easier to say something that you would normally not say. I think that's scary.
Mhm.
And so I think now, I don't know if your girls feel this way too with social media. I know Nia's very, very, very guarded. In particular, my boys don't use social media to the same extent. Like Nia's the one who really uses social media. So that's why I'm talking
Yeah.
more about her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because my boys don't post anything about anybody else except
Mine
for,
don't. My
I
son
mean,
doesn't
they
either.
don't.
I
They
think it's just a boy thing.
I think it's a
maybe.
boy thing.
Yeah,
I think it
sure.
is split that way. Whereas Nia, I think now would not, if she ever was to date again, would not put it on social media who she's dating. Like she really feels she's very cautious about that. One, because she was, it was such a public relationship when she was dating. She was so excited about it.
Mhm.
But when you break up,
It's so public. Also.
it is
Yeah.
so public also.
Yeah.
And then
it's-
they
no.
get hate on either way, which is sad.
Exactly.
Like one person will get the
She
hate.
said,
So Maddie's first relationship was very, very, I mean, it was all over social media and they posted all the time. And now this relationship, she's very private. She posts a little bit.
Well, kids learn like we learn, and we tell them things because now we haven't been through social media breakups at our age, but you kind of almost know when things like that are going to happen.
mhm.
And it's almost like a progression. They got to learn the hard way. And Maddie learned, for example, the hard way. Don't
and-
put it
and
in.
so
Nia
Nia-
learned the hard way.
Learned the hard way. And it's funny because you think that, like, oh, it's like, it's fun. Like, to me, it was like social media is fun. Of course, you're going to post that there. That's so cute. So
Exactly.
cute.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
You
not
do
thinking,
something, you post it.
You
think
post it.
nothing of it. Yeah.
I really
And
didn't
so
think
it
much-
backfires.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh my gosh, it does so much because people really are looking into your lives and they're experiencing your life with you. But then you're so vulnerable and it's so exposed. And especially when you go through, like, the highs are great and it's great when it's wonderful,
Yeah.
but when it's
But
bad,
It's bad.
it's
Yeah.
really bad. And to be able to put on and there were times Nia was posting and she's putting on like a happy face and she is devastated.
I know. I remember.
And you know, and to grieve like that privately when you're such a public person, it's really a hard thing to do, especially to do it at such a young age.
Yeah,
It's like the
is right.
social media part. It's like, why do we have it's good and bad. There are definitely positives to it,
Mhm.
but the negatives, if you can't navigate that, and I think that's really hard to navigate as a kid.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, and they're kids, they're young, and it's experience. They just, you have to go through it and then learn from it.
And it's funny you say that because my oldest son told me that. So I'm getting advice from EJ.
he
There you
helped
go.
Nia though.
I
Remember how
love
good?
that.
I mean, because you guys were going on vacation, and he really helped, and he was so upset.
He was really good. So I because I was a bastard, I'm like no good. But when it comes to dating advice, don't
It's
ask
funny,
me.
Holly, because I've never seen you a basket case.
No, I've never-
you know
that's the first
everything. So
time.
that must have been tough for you.
It affected me so much because we talked a lot at that time, FaceTiming, and we FaceTimed together with Nia, and I mean, we all shed tears together, and I saw a different side of you, and my gosh, she's just a normal mom like me.
That's it. Because I'm so strong about so many other things
Yeah.
and so self-assured and confident
Mhm.
and I think well poised. Not when it comes to teens and dating. Not
Isn't that
when it
funny?
comes to my babies and dating. No, I'm not.
Because you couldn't read that in a book.
no,
right? No, I mean, it's serious.
You
Well,
can't.
there's no rules to it.
No.
And there are
And
rules.
every situation's different, so you can't be prepared for what
Absolutely.
the outcome's going to be. Or
And I'm up here thinking, oh, I have logic. I can figure this out. And I just realized like this is out of my scope. And I also had to humble myself to be able to realize and recognize that you don't know what you're doing. And you're probably doing more harm than good because you
that's
don't
what-
know what you're doing.
It's so nice to have moms that you can totally trust 100%. And I tell you secrets all the time. I'm like,
Mhm.
and I know it's not going anywhere, and I think that it takes an army to help these girls
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
boys. But
Well, right. Grown-ups and kids and their peer group,
Yes.
and the key is to learn who you can tell your secret to and who you can't. You got to
Absolutely.
know the ones, and it doesn't mean a girlfriend isn't a friend.
No.
If you can't tell them a secret because they
know.
can't keep a secret.
Jill,
Right? It's
I love
good
you,
to
Jill.
know
I love
where
you,
you
Jill.
stand. Right. Right.
I mean, I love telling
but
you.
that's part of childhood and relationships too,
Right.
And it's really important. I for me as a mom, because it goes to what both of you what you're saying is that I have tried, not so hard to be perfect. I think moms, we put this enormous burden on ourselves to be perfect. Like you have to figure everything out and you have to know everything and be like the perfect mom for your
Yes.
family.
Mhm.
And it's just like the teen dating for me in particular was like my Achilles heel. I am not
Oh,
good at
isn't that
that.
something?
I am not good at that. My kids know that is a weakness of mine. And I also recognize that it was something that I had to allow other people to see my weakness.
Yeah.
Because in order for me to kind of really wrestle with it and to really deal with it and to be supportive and
Mhm.
to offer the right kind of advice or support for my kids, I had to also humble myself and realize I'm not good at this and I can rely on other people for help. And that's really
I
hard for moms to get help from other people
Mhm.
sometimes.
What now is like the normal dating age for kids? It seems like it's
Oh.
so young now.
14. I love when they say, "Oh, I'm
Really?
dating." I'm like, "Are you dating? What do you
Really?
mean
No,
dating?"
they
Like,
don't.
I
Do they
feel
say
like when
dating?
I
They're
was young-
seeing each other.
Talking.
Oh, they're talking. That's it.
I'm
They're
like, what
talking.
does talking mean? Because
They're
Kenzie's like, "Oh yeah,
talking.
my friend's talking to that boy." I'm like, "What does that mean?" She goes, "Mom,"
Yeah.
know. But
I don't. To answer your question though, I
I
don't
think it just seems
there
so much
is an
younger
age.
now than when we were
It-
young.
for
Like,
sure.
like, do you guys have a set age of when you allowed your kids to date?
16 is like the
Okay,
supposed
but
to be,
it was
but
16 that you knew they were dating, that they brought them around. But do you think that they were like dating behind your back, Miss Holly?
Nia, no. Nia, I know it was not.
Well, we were with her 24
Well,
hours
that was
a
the only
day, so
reason
she
why
couldn't.
now.
but-
William, I suspect, has had a girlfriend and has
Just
has not
not
shared
Will,
that.
That sneaky little boy.
Yeah.
That's
I
so
suspect he has had a girlfriend and
Oh,
is just
that's
not sharing
funny.
because he knows I'm not good at it. Because he knows, like, I'm,
Well,
of all
listen.
people, I'm definitely
He's
not
gonna talk
telling
to
you.
EJ.
I'll tell the EJ.
Oh, see, it's good to know who you can tell your secrets to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's not me.
And it's not his mom when it comes to dating.
Exactly.
But listen, if you guys ever have questions about teen dating, please listen to Taylor Swift. I mean, come on. She's got it all figured out. I love
Oh
her.
my gosh.
I love her.
We know you're a Swiftie.
Taylor Swift. She knows
Okay.
everything.
But I'm more of a Swiffer than a Swiftie.
I want to say when Maddie had her first breakup, it was so hard. Like
Wait, how old was Maddie? She was young.
she was 16 when she had a breakup.
She was younger. That was years
Yeah, she
ago.
was younger. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm
I-
confused.
I don't know.
Well, she's
I don't even
almost
know when mine
18,
did.
so she's been
Yeah.
dating her boyfriend right now for a year, and people didn't know because she kept it,
Yeah.
But she cried and I cried. And she goes, "Mom, you're just not good at this." And I'm like, "Honey, I'm
No.
sorry," because I would see her cry, and you know me, I cry over a tissue commercial. So, I mean, it was really
I
hurtful.
think though the kids are just so used to us fixing things. Like if there's a problem, they tell their mom and we fix it. And a breakup is something we can't fix. We have no control over it. So
You nailed it. That's
Yeah,
it.
and
Because I'm
it's
a
a deal.
fixer.
yeah.
Oh,
And in 90% of the situations we have with our kids, we can fix it for them.
Right.
Or we at least try our hardest. But when it's a breakup or something, we can't fix it.
And I try to, you try to tell your kids, they're like, "Oh, I love him." I'm like,
You're gonna love 10 more people.
"Oh yeah," I'm like, "This is
Before
definitely
the real one, you're probably gonna love 10 more people.
right." And now it's funny. Maddie's like, "Yeah, that was just puppy love," and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's." I mean, now that
but
they
when
realize
it's
it,
happening, they think that is like the end all be all. Like, this is it. And I'm like, no, really, it's not.
I love the fact that Mackenzie has a lot of friends that are boys. Like she has a group of 6 boys, and they're literally all friends. I mean, that's it. And I love that because girls are tough
Yeah.
to be
Yeah,
friends
girls
with.
can
Brooke
be
says
tough.
that. I'll text her and she'll be like posting all these pictures of her with these guys. And I'm like, are they your boyfriend or what are they? And she's like, no, Mom, we're just friends. And every time I talk to her, I say something. She's like, Mom, why is it so hard for you to understand? It's not a boyfriend. It's a friend. Like you can be friends with guys and them not be boyfriends. But
That's a really
I
hard
don't know.
thing.
It's just,
I think it's important to have friends on,
Yeah. sometimes I think guy
Opposite
friends are
sex
better
of-
than,
It's so funny
Yeah.
because Nia,
I
but
do.
the majority of her friends are all boys.
Yeah.
She has very
Yeah.
few girlfriends. Aside from the girls, like our girls, like from the show, which is like a very special sisterhood, she probably has like only 2 or 3 others. Most of her friends are boys. She's just said
Yeah.
that she
I was
can
that way in
she can
school.
relate to them in a
I
different
was,
way.
yeah.
And there's nothing romantic. It's all platonic.
Yeah.
And she's like, I have no interest of ever dating them. I know too much about them. And she's like, I know how they think. She's like, probably I would not want to date people that age also because I know how they think.
Exactly.
But it's really enlightening. But they were like really like brothers. And to hear them talk, it's different because I would expect like, oh, you got all these boys around. Like, oh, look at all this opportunity. And it's like, no. Mm-mm.
There's opportunity out there, but that's not.
But that's not
those
them.
are my friends.
Those are their friends. Yeah.
Don't mess with your friends.
No.
No,
But-
that's good. I think it's important to have girlfriends and boyfriends.
Have you heard about the Peanut app? It's the app that helps you meet like-minded moms and moms-to-be. It works great for me here in Florida. It helps me find friendships and that I can talk to and find support and ask questions.
Peanut provides a safe space for mothers, expectant mothers, and those trying to conceive to build friendships, ask questions, and find support.
It's great. It introduces you to women who are nearby and are at a similar stage in their life. So Peanut provides an access to a community of women who are there to listen, share, and offer valuable advice.
That would be good for you, Kelly, because you're kind of
Yeah.
alone right now in Florida. Whether it's understanding IVF, adoption, pregnancy, first years, or nursery and beyond, Peanut is a place to connect with women like you.
Like with me being here in Florida, it's really hard. Like I have a hard time going out by myself and just starting to talk to people and stuff like that. So this worked great for me.
Has the app introduced you to other moms to be nearby?
Not really moms to be for me because I'm not expecting, but
Is there something you're not telling us, Kelly?
No, but I did meet people that are like my same age and that are interested in the same things that I'm doing. So it worked out great for me. Now, your daughter's getting married, isn't she? So maybe she'll be having a baby.
Yes.
She could get on there and meet new moms to be too.
What a great app for people, for young, well, I guess for anybody, but especially young women who are having a baby for the first time. I mean, think back when all of us were pregnant years ago, 24 years ago for me.
I only had my mom to help me. Yeah, I had my mom to get advice from. That was it. No friends. And
I really like this idea. Download the app for free today. Head to peanut.app.link/momsaidso or find it in your app store.
have any of
How
your
about that?
kids had boyfriends that you did not like?
Yes. Holy moly, yes.
From the
I know
get-go?
you have.
Yeah.
You mean from the start you met them, you're like, nope. Yep.
Yeah, I just
Mhm.
and they're just such bad news. And
And you could tell that from the moment you met them, or like it took up some time and there were like red flags and you're like 747 landing.
Oh man, there were lots of flags. And
I
like
could
they
tell.
just like have their blinders on and can't see it. And it's like so hard to try to explain to them. Like he's taking you down the wrong road. Like you need to like steer off.
They walked in the door. I'm like, oh, no.
So
Yeah.
what did you do?
Oh, so hard for me.
I tried telling mine, like, you need to get out of this situation or whatever. And then, like I said earlier, they do the opposite, you know? And then, like, one of my other kids was in a relationship that I loved and I thought it was great and it was going the right way. And they just weren't happy.
That was a long relationship.
Yeah,
Oh, my goodness.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If the girls bring them home or, want me to meet their boyfriend or someone special, I really want to like them because they do. So it's hard.
yes.
So I give them the benefit of the doubt at first.
I'll give you an example.
And then you have to wait it out.
Like Paige had friends over and they were all down in my basement and I knew one of them was her boyfriend. So I go down and I like wanted to intermix with them to get to know
Right,
him, you know?
right.
And I walk down the steps and all the friends are sitting there all like, oh, hi, Mrs. Highland, how are you and whatever. And I'm like looking around for Paige's boyfriend. And as soon as I walked down the steps, he went into the bathroom. And I'm like, well, where is he? And she's like, oh, he's in the bath. The entire time I was down there, he was in the bathroom. Right then and there,
Was he smoking marijuana or
I
something?
don't know what he was doing, but right then and
Sorry.
there, I'm like, okay,
Oh.
we need to get rid of this one because
Yeah,
when
he
he
was
doesn't even
hiding
want to say
something.
hello to your mom, he's bad. And
Oh, for
So
sure.
how long did that relationship last?
a couple years. Yes.
No.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't like it.
Oh.
did you tell Paige from the get-go you weren't happy
Yeah.
with it?
Yeah.
So she
but
knew.
She didn't care.
And that's the thing.
She
It's-
said he was intimidated by me. I think that was. I'm like, really?
Why?
Am I really that scary?
He's gonna have a rough life then.
Yeah. You might want to get out now because I'm just gonna get worse.
The thing I find the worst about teen dating, and you touched on it, Melissa, early on, and Holly was saying, it's the hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is it worth that much pain when it doesn't work out? And let's face it, 99.9% of the time they move on.
Right.
I don't know.
Whether
though.
it's the girl or the guy, they move on. So
I think it's exciting though too. Like, I mean,
Well,
think
they
about it,
have
when
to
you're
do
married,
it.
like we have the same thing every day. I think it is so good for them to date other people to see what they really like. You know, rather
For
than
sure.
date one person for 3 years and then get married and whatever. I think it's important for them to date other people to find out like what their interests are and
yeah.
I think they
But
need
how to
relationships
manage
and
their
things like
feelings,
that.
not to get too invested, because
exactly, which
it's
is hard
not
to do,
gonna last.
which is hard to do,
you
but
want to give them.
But that
your
also
heart.
makes you stronger. Each breakup, you learn something from that, and can use it to your next relationship. You know,
Right.
And move as you move forward. You live and learn.
And I agree with that. And it's one of those things I try to tell my kids, like, you should date people and don't take it so seriously.
Exactly.
Like
And that's the
that's
problem.
problem. Like, you make
Yeah.
it so much more serious than it needs to be. It
Yeah.
shouldn't, like, you're young. Why are you so serious? Why do you want to be an old person and just be
Yes.
so
You
settled?
have the rest of your life to spend with one person.
Exactly. So get to know people. And I think they're a little gun shy. I know for Nia, she's very gun shy. Like, she's very cautious and she's very nervous about dating or moving forward. Whereas EJ,
You
it's
mean
not-
because of that bad breakup?
because of that bad breakup. And then
yeah.
she also had and she's so funny. Nia will laugh at herself in a heartbeat. She's been ghosted before. She's had that as an experience.
Oh my gosh, that's really interesting.
Holly,
Yeah.
will you explain ghosted to me? Seriously, I'm being serious.
No, but it's funny because I've talking, like, she's talked to someone, like, so talking is before you commit to actually dating. Someone. Like, I didn't know.
like
Does someone
physical out to dinner.
does someone
lunch.
ask you to
So you
be a
probably
boyfriend
get
girlfriend?
a text. Will you be my boyfriend or girlfriend? And
Check-
That's what I'm trying
Is
to
it the
figure
box
out.
you check? Yes
it's probably
or
not
no?
like-
Right, yes and no.
in-person thing.
Do you like
like,
me?
does it become that official? Like, someone actually has to ask you to be a girlfriend? I thought if you've been together or been going out,
you
that
just
you're dating.
assumed that you were dating.
But
Yes.
apparently, no, you're just talking.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I think we just called that dating before, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Uh-huh.
So you're talking until you're officially had this discussion that you're boyfriend and girlfriend, whenever that happens via text or in person or FaceTime, who knows?
Not in person.
But not in person, probably, right? So then at a certain point, Nia had been talking to someone for 6 months, for a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And they thought they had talked about dating, and then summer hit, and then she traveled a lot last summer, and he just never stopped responding to.
Oh, so
That's
that's ghosting. Just
when they stop.
out.
Stop.
I'm out.
Yeah, just out. They're just like, I'm tapping out. And
But
just go.
doesn't tell her. Oh, got it.
So she's
okay.
like, well, what happened?
Where'd he go? Okay, got it.
Tap
What
out.
happened?
I like that.
He tapped out.
You
and just-
chunked out. Sorry.
And so Nia has talked about this, like, with her guy friends, and she's mentioned it. They're like, Nia, that's not cool. Like, that's not normal. That's not how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
And but Nia's like, it's all good. Like, she was like, it's fine. Like, it really is okay. And she laughs about it, and she's moved on. Their friends are on good terms. They see each other. Like, there's no bad blood there.
Oh,
But so
that's good.
which is really good. Nia's like she's a trooper.
Yeah,
she's a
she
team
is.
player. Like, she's like, life is too short. But it's like, but during the time when you're getting ghosted, it's not fun.
No.
I will say that is not a fun experience to go
No,
through and
I
to
mean-
see your kid go through.
But she can laugh about it now. And that's
She
good
can
that
laugh
they
about it
can, you know.
Oh, God. Listen, they'll have a tough life if they can't laugh at themselves.
Exactly.
Everybody, all of us.
Exactly.
You
But I've
know?
learned more lingo, like between talking and ghosting and dating, and what's the difference between all of this sort of stuff. William told me it doesn't make sense to date until after college. It doesn't count
I
anyway.
love that.
I'm like, it doesn't count. He's like, it doesn't count until after college anyway.
Oh, he's so
He's like,
cute.
it doesn't matter. I'm
He's
like,
so cute.
he's adorable.
Yeah.
All of my kids are jaded.
No.
William, EJ
that's-
won't bring anybody home because I'm there. He's like, that's just a friend. Everyone's just a friend.
Oh, I just,
Because I get too invested.
Oh, so
Well,
they're that's so cute. How so he's protecting you.
Yes, they're
He's
protecting me.
protecting you.
Well, 'cause
he
we
might
really
love this
loved-
girl, but he doesn't want you to love her in case he decides he doesn't love her.
Yeah.
So he's just
We all loved EJ's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie's like, I'm going to go see EJ's girlfriend. I'm not saying her name. When she would just hang out with them in the basement. It
They're
was
so
fun.
Well, it is cute when the kids start protecting their parents. Here we are wanting to protect them, and
And they're protecting us.
they're protecting us, but that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Fan
Fan
question.
So do you guys want to go over a fan question?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. I have from Vroom Vroom.
Oh,
Do you-
that's cute.
Yeah. Do you regret putting your kids in the spotlight at such a young age?
What do you, go ahead. You go first.
I think I do, especially with like the teen dating. Like Brooke being like the oldest kid, on the show, she had a hard time with that.
She went to her first dance while we were on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
And that's hard.
And I'm sure that was
That's
just
that was
like we were saying earlier, like it's so public that people know so much about it,
Do you think that Brooke had experiences just because she's older, had more experience with people wanting to date her because she was a celebrity?
Yes.
I'm like, quote, unquote,
Yes, and
celebrity
I
on the
think you
public
have to
eye.
watch that, Like I know
For
people
sure.
that will just, even me, like want to be friends with you just so you follow them on Instagram so they get more Instagram followers and stuff like that. Like, and it's sad because you want people to want to be friends with you because of who you are,
Mhm.
not because I have this many followers on Instagram, So I think being in the spotlight changes a lot of our lives.
I want to say I don't regret putting my kids in the spotlight because they really have a great life and they love what they're doing. It was stressful for them.
Yeah.
But they're very happy and very normal. I mean, very humble and just really normal kids.
I think that's something with all of our kids is they're very down to earth.
all of them are.
And
well, they wouldn't have survived it if they weren't.
yeah,
What do I always say to you? Because I see Brooke more than any of your kids, of course.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's such a good kid. She's just
they're,
such
they're
a
very down to
good
earth and normal.
kid.
I think all of our kids.
Mhm. I would agree. And it's so funny because I'll have people meet our kids and they're always struck by that. I'm like,
Yeah.
and you tell people that and they don't believe until they meet it. I'm like, wow, like the kids next door. I'm like, they really are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Brooke came
really
over
are.
our house
Because
to
they-
work the other day.
Are.
A couple weeks ago, she brought her computer because she's working from home, and she goes, "Can I come to your house?" Because she was lonely, and Mackenzie was working, and she had like a photo shoot, and Brooke would bring her computer, and she was laying on her stomach doing her work, watching Kenzie, and then they moved together. It was so cute. And Brooke's 23 or 22,
22.
22. Kenzie's 16, and they're so close,
Mhm.
even though they're different age. They're so close.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't have, to answer her question too, I don't have any regrets putting Kendall in the limelight.
I don't
At a
have any
young age.
regrets. I just think it's
don't.
different for them as opposed
They had to learn how to manage it
Yeah.
when people reach out on Instagram and they don't know them, and they can DM, and anybody has access for the most part to these children to tell them things.
Mhm. Nice or
Right,
mean.
good or bad.
Yeah.
And she had to navigate through who her friends are, girls and boys who like her for who she is, and who they aren't, who like her for what she might be able to do for them.
Right.
Mhm.
Boys can use the girls, and that's what we have to
Yeah.
be careful with because
Yeah.
of their, if they want to become an artist or something like that. And
I don't regret Nia being in a spotlight. I think for her, she gets sometimes some negativity about her body image, which is a harder thing for her sometimes to navigate. She's become more confident and more comfortable in her own skin. And I think in some ways, that's probably the being in the limelight has been more troublesome in that way. But when it comes to dating, she weeds people out really fast. Like
Yeah.
that couple times she's met people, and it's interesting because I wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable DMing and starting a relationship through social media, but I guess that's a norm for
It is
some people.
normal now.
It's normal.
It's
so
different.
normal.
It feels a little weird to me, but that seems like that's a normal practice. I think for all of our kids, it's probably made them less naive
Yes.
and
I would
trusting.
say naive,
Yeah, because they're just really
they can't be.
they can't be. They have to be so
Yeah,
discerning
yeah.
and they're able to read through stuff really quickly and be like, no. And like there are certain red flags that they can pick out, and trusting them that they're able to do that. And I think in some ways they're probably a little bit more mature than and older than some of the other. Like, they had to live fast. They had to grow up
Yeah.
fast.
I know with
Yeah,
my kids,
I
like
agree.
with Brooke, when she went to college, she was very like, she didn't want to be in the spotlight. Like, so when she would go out at college, like, she wouldn't tell nobody like she was on a show or anything. But when I would come, people recognized me, and she hated it. She hated it because then people wanted to like treat her differently, like, because they were like, oh, you were on a show, and she's like, no, like, like,
Yeah.
I just think that they want to be normal. They don't want to always
No, I agree.
be known as in the spotlight, you know?
Mhm. And I think that's why they
They're
rely on it.
protecting.
They do protect each other because they will be honest with each other about things that they see. And people like, I like this person for you. I don't like this person for you. And I mean, I'm always supportive, but I think that there are things that and I think that also resonates when their sisters tell them like, okay, yeah, that's not a good person
Yeah.
for you.
They'll listen
Yeah.
to that. Like, I've actually, tried to tell Maddie, you have to tell Kenzie not to like that boy. She goes, Mom, I tried. I can't, and it's really funny. I try to use my other kid to
Yeah.
get to the,
It's called manipulation.
But I think that happens even like with you. Like, if you say something to Brooke, she's gonna listen more than
Yes.
if she listens to me because Mom said so. She's not gonna listen.
Right.
But
Right.
Melissa, since you're not her mom, or Joe, you're
Yeah.
not her mom, she may
Absolutely.
listen.
right.
Well, but there are people who will listen to us, and there are things that their moms have told them,
Yeah.
but because we have said it or because we've had other life experiences, like, oh,
Exactly. Like
Well,
my
you hear
mom
them
told me
doing
that,
that.
and that didn't make sense, but now it does.
yeah. Now hearing it from your point of view, like,
Yeah.
oh, I get why she said that. Oh, and it's not so much like you're turning a deaf ear right now.
Exactly.
Like, oh, there's a reason why she said it. It's not to make my life miserable.
Right.
hmm But think of this, you guys. We were talking about social media being difficult for the kids and dating and putting it out on social media. But it is quite interesting because now these kids have everybody, not
Mhm.
just our kids have the opportunity of meeting someone outside their school district, in another state,
Yeah.
in another
We never
country. And we
Yeah.
didn't really have, we married someone in our hometown or someone we met in college. And, so it's really great that they can have these experiences.
Oh,
You know,
for sure.
And some are good and some are
sometimes that's
bad.
scary though, that
we
you
didn't
meet
have
these
that.
people that you don't know who the heck they are, and like at least when you date somebody from your hometown, like their upbringing and
Their
and
family.
whatever.
Well, sure.
Like, sometimes
You
I
know
think,
their parents or their family, and it's
You
funny
know
that
the
you
street they grew up on. So
Right,
they're
yeah.
like on, your part of town.
It
all
makes me
that.
very nervous, and it's so funny. And I have to change my mindset too because social media plays such a big part in dating now,
does,
which I didn't
yes.
realize before. Because I even the way I frame things, like Neil will say, "Oh, I'm talking to someone or whatever." And I'm like, "Is this a real person or not a real person?" She's like, "It is a real person. Just because you don't know who they are doesn't mean that it makes them less real." But to me, if you met them through social media, that's like not a real
Oh
person.
my gosh, it could be like an 80-year-old man
Yeah.
talking to you saying he's 14. That's what I think is scary.
That is,
Yeah.
but normally
If you
they'll
don't know
FaceTime
them.
each other at that point.
Right,
though,
I
you know.
guess.
They FaceTime.
I don't FaceTime.
I mean, I FaceTime you. But I like Mackenzie is with Mandela, and people say we ship you. I'm like, they've been friends for years, and they're like, they're friends, and then people are like, you have another boyfriend already? Boy, you move. I mean,
That's what I was saying about Brooke earlier.
Yeah.
She posts pictures with boys, and people just think they're boyfriends, and they're not. They're just friends that are guys.
I just
like-
can't stand when they say, boy, you get around, or
Yeah.
that's not.
Yeah.
They're friends.
You can't figure it out for her. You can't
Yeah.
They
explain
have
it.
to live it and experience it
But we have to be
move
there.
on from it.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's part of
Haters gonna hate. My friend once said, players are gonna play.
Oh, Jill, I
it. A wise old proverb.
and she's been through so many men. That's why she has such good songs.
But it's very therapeutic. I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
where you can grow from and you learn from and you can write and you can become
Oh, Kenzie's been
successful.
writing so many songs about
So
it.
many
Yeah.
things to learn
Yeah,
from it.
well, because it comes from your heart and their feelings, and
Mm-hmm.
we can't deny our kids their feelings. You know, if Paige has a boy you don't like, tough shit. She likes him
Yeah.
for whatever reason, you know, and that's what we have to get over.
I think we raised our kids good enough that they're gonna realize, like, which Paige did. Like, I think they just need to take the time and figure it out themselves and learn what they want in a guy. And we just need to pray that we raised them good.
I agree with
smart.
Yes,
that.
absolutely.
Absolutely. And just also have them like also trust in themselves and know themselves
Yeah.
and
Right.
trust their gut
Exactly.
and not be able to second guess and settle. And
Yeah.
I've had to learn that too, just that you have raised your children well enough that they can be able to pick out people who are good for them, who have
Yeah.
that kind of good energy and surround themselves around positive people who bring out the best in them
Mm-hmm.
and that they're not going to bring themselves lower. And just, that's
Right.
that's
Don't-
important to do
Don't
that.
settle.
Yeah,
Don't
that's even
settle.
that's we friendships. I mean, it's really hard to
Absolutely.
maneuver friendships, and Mackenzie has so many friends, and Maddie's so guarded and has a really small group of friends. It's just they're so opposite, and it's the same thing with relationships. I think
I
too.
agree. At one point, Nia was like, I don't think I'm ever going to get married. I'm like,
Oh,
You're
she said
19.
that. She's,
I said that
that's
when I was
funny.
when I was younger.
yeah.
Really?
I don't
See,
know.
when
Did you
I
know
was
that?
younger, that's all I wanted to do.
Yeah, I
Really?
knew I
Like,
would.
I knew I didn't want to
That's
go to college because I knew all I wanted to do was get married and have babies and be a mom.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I
I
ever like. My family always laughs at me
Me
because
too.
they were like, "Why didn't I just never wanted to go to college because I knew that's what I wanted."
That's all I wanted to do is be a mom, like my mom.
Well, that was my lifetime goal career. To be
That's
a
okay.
mom,
I
and
think
here I am,
And
a mom
you are.
of 3.
And there's
You're doing
nothing
great.
wrong with that.
No.
Great. That's interesting. But now the beauty is our girls can go to college or have a career or be a child star. And then when the time is right, be a mom.
Absolutely.
And, let's hope that when they get married and become a mom, it's with the right one and all of that. And let me just say one thing I've learned is, Riley's 24. My oldest is 24 now, and she's engaged and she's getting married. And I love her fiance, which makes my husband, he's a baseball player, makes my husband very happy because he has all girls. So it's another, it's like a son sort of in the house,
Oh,
you know?
sure.
Well, he's not living with us, but I'm just, what I mean?
right. No.
Mom brag.
So who has a mom brag or
I do.
fail?
Riley, my oldest, just recently got engaged, and she's engaged to Cade, who plays for the Chicago White Sox. He's a baseball player, which is really cool. But she met him in college, and they dated, and then they didn't, and then they did, and the whole time I'm like, oh my god, what you just
I know you were. I know you were.
So I'm just, she stuck it out. I stuck it out, and they love each other. I know, because it's all about me, Hall.
It's all
Now,
about
when
her.
she was ready to say, forget it, I'm like, honey, you really have to. If every time something goes bad, you can't just say, forget it. You work on it. And that was my point in a long marriage. This is a relationship. If you love him, you have to work to make things work and right and learn what you can and can't live with. And
You got her to the point through the dating crap, and now she's
'Cause she
found
had-
the man of her dreams, and she's getting married.
Because that other one wasn't, remember the other one? Well, of course you remember.
I remember them all. No, I'm very, and it's still a process. Relationships. I mean, I've been married 27 years and it's still a process. So I'm just excited. So now they're getting married next year, and this is her college sweetheart.
Aww.
And I really like him. He's a good guy, has a great family. It's like a nice addition to our family.
That's a good mom brag.
He's great.
Yes.
That
That's
is
a good
mom
mom
brag.
brag. That's a good mom brag.
Because I
this week.
stuck it out.
You stuck. And that was advice that went well. So your advice went very well. So you gave
So
great
now
advice.
you can always come back and say, because mom said so.
But
Because
Riley
that's
will
it.
take
Thank
your
you.
advice. Like some of our kids won't, but Riley's one
Nah,
that will.
She is a good one. She listens.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah. The other kids are like, eh.
Not that she always acts on but she hears it. You
Right.
need a kid to hear what you're saying and then figure it out themselves. So yeah, that worked out great, and she's so happy, and they're happy together and they just got a new little puppy. I'm like, only puppies for now. That's good. No children.
Oh yeah, no children for
Oh, I
now.
want grandbabies.
Oh my
I
gosh.
did too,
I'm
but
not
like
ready
in
for that.
15 years, 10 years.
All right,
maybe.
Gam Gam.
I'm Gamma already. I have a dog, so that's I call myself Gamma. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Because Mom Said So. Make sure you listen to us on Apple Podcast and Spotify. You can ask our fan questions on our Gmail, because mom said so 4@gmail.com, and follow us on Because Mom Said So 4 on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening this week. I think we had a great conversation about teen dating, and hopefully you'll take our advice, because I'm a mom and because mom said so.
I hope you guys like this video and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that like button down below. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me know in the comments below what else you would like to see. I hope you guys like this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.